I have very few listings built out. Would you recommend a service like Yext or Moz Local, or do you recommend we manually update tons of listings, like one of those services or another service? Okay, so basically what they're talking about here is local business citations. What citations are business listings? So for example, things like Yelp, and yellowpages.com, and even Google, and Foursquare, and City Pages, and FindLaw, and all these different directories that your business is going to appear in, that your law firm is going to appear in. And there's companies like Yext, which from one dashboard will allow you to enter your information once and get it correct across like 50 different websites. And then Moz Local kind of has the same type of thing. Now, the reason that you want it to be accurate across all the different websites is that there's an acronym NAP, N-A-P, and it stands for name, address, and phone number. And it used to be, it's still important, but not as important anymore. But it used to be really important. If you wanted to rank in the Google Maps for like personal injury lawyer or car accident lawyer or whatever it is, you used to have, it was really important that you had your name, address, and phone number consistent on every single one of these websites. And I always thought that URL needed to be included in that. I guess there's no acronym that includes it. That's NAPU. But so it's a pain in the neck because you have to go on and you have to claim all of these different listings and you have to claim all these different things. So, and if you've ever actually tried to update your own citations or your own business listings, it's an absolute nightmare because these things, it's like a game of whack-a-mole basically, because if you ever, there's a graphic where basically if you look at, if you go to Google Images and search for like local SEO ecosystem, I think, or something like that, you'll see this graphic where there's these major aggregators like Newstar and I think it's Info Group. I can't remember off the top of my head. There's like 3 or 4 aggregators, and basically what happens is all of these websites pull from all these other aggregators, and what we see happen all the time is listings will update from other listings. So if you have like one of these aggregators that's incorrect, you'll go through, you'll fix a bunch of listings, and then they'll just keep reverting back to the old listing, to the old information, and it just drives you crazy. So it's really tempting to go with a company like Yext or like Moz Local, because with, you can update 50 or 75, or I don't know exactly how many they have now, but you can update them all from one dashboard and it suppresses the duplicates and all that type of stuff. And we used to do that for a long time with our stuff for our clients, but we don't do that anymore. I actually put a video out not too long ago called "Why We Fired Yext," and that's on my YouTube channel. It shows up in the Facebook group sometimes also. But the reason that we fired them is because we started realizing that Google was not counting about 80 to 90% of the listings that they create. And if they don't count them, then it doesn't, it's like they don't exist. So there's no point in having them. So what we found is that the issue was with the business description. When you have the same business description on every single page, then Google doesn't index them. And when that means that Google doesn't save them in their actual search index. And that's why we left Yext, and I believe the same thing is true with Moz, although I haven't checked Moz for a long time. But once we saw that, we were like, okay, well, we have to do this. So we started doing manually. Manually is a huge pain in the neck. So we actually we go with a company for our clients called Web20 Ranker. They have a package called the Essential Citations Package that will go through and clean up and claim and do all that type of stuff. So we do that. It's like $150, I think, something like that. But it's way better than having to do it yourself. It takes forever. Citations are just horrible. So yeah, I would say that. There's another company called Marketer Center or Marketer Source. I think it's Marketer Center that we've used also. And they do an okay job also. We go with Web20 now though, because the reason I like Web20 is because they actually will do unique business descriptions for every location. So what that means is that instead of 10 to 20% getting indexed and counting, and 80 to 90% of your listings not working for you, now with Web20 we're getting 80 to 90% indexed, which means that 80 to 90% are actually counting for us. And one of the biggest, most important parts of search engine optimization is proximity and prominence. Not proximity, it's prominence. Prominence means how prominent is your website? How how many listings are there? How many places are you found? And that's one of the most important things for citations. Now, another thing about citations used to be the holy grail. I don't think they are anymore. I think really it's kind of like the top 25, maybe the top 50 citations. But really they're not as important as they used to be. It still should be. I mean, you still need to update them, but it used to be basically if you had a ton of citations, you would rank number one, and it's not like that anymore. There's a lot more factors that go into it. So citations are not the end all be all anymore like they used to be, but it's still important to have them updated. It's still important to have them indexed. And I don't think that Yext or Moz Local will get those indexes because of the duplicate business description issue.